Welcome to the Equality for Unity TED Talk. Here we discuss key issues such as gender inequalities, ageism, and racial discrimination. The big question is, how do these inequalities affect our lives? More importantly, how do these inequalities affect poverty? Gender equality. So what is gender equality? Gender equality is when people of all genders have equal rights, responsibilities, and opportunities. Although in our society, women don't get the same opportunities as men. And society tends to label different industries for different genders. Common issues of gender inequalities are in nationality, family, sexual orientation, gender identity, employment, land and other resources, sexual violence, health, politics, and education. Today we have a special guest who will be joining us to answer some of our questions. Please welcome Qistina from Singapore. Thank
Hello.
you for joining us. So, first question, how do you think gender discrimination affects livelihood of both men and women?
In my opinion, gender description affects everyone, including men and women. So when we think of gender discrimination, everybody thinks it's just women, but in fact, men are being involved in it too. The stereotypes of rules of how women and men should act or how people perceive them all begin in childhood, and then it follow us through our adulthood. So as we segregate the two genders, men and women, society have that traditional mindset that it is difficult for men to live up to. They feel pressurized to be a real man. Right now, everybody wants men to be physically and emotionally strong, right?
Yeah.
They don't want they need the man to be the main income earner, and they are not allowed to show that they are sad or feeling
Yeah.
anxiety or stress.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, in many occasions, this happen for men. They are not allowed in Singapore. There are workplaces or companies that do not allow men to extend their parental leave or be able to take care of their children because what they need to do is to earn money for their family, which is to us is unfair because everybody have their human rights, right? But
Yeah.
the fact that they don't want men to do that because they want men to be working hard for their family and not be taking care of their children, because people see it as women needed to be the one taking care of the children or in charge of everything that's part of the household. It's really the stereotype that people are being brought up to. The fact that when a small little boy says that he wants to be a nurse or he wants to
Yeah.
be a teacher when he grows up, and then the parents will be like, "But that's a woman's job.
Or
Why must
like,
people segregate it as a woman and man's job?" Kind of
yeah.
thing. Yeah. So this can really lead to them being suppressed, that they don't feel that their voices are being heard. So they tend to bottle up their emotions. And this is what a main reason why men tend to commit suicide more than women. It's a cycle, like nobody gets out from it because they all think it's the norm. It's been happening back then, it's still happening in the present. So they still carry on it for the future. That's why it's a big issue for women. Society also have the mindset that women does not bring any good because in places such as the rural poverty, women are working as hard as men, sometimes even two-thirds of the world working hours, but all which is very proven from what I've learned in school and research. It shows that less than 1% of the women they own less than 1% of the world's property. Meaning, if you guys see millionaires, billionaires, it's always men. It's never women.
Yeah.
Yeah, because people don't see as women. When people see women as a high title, they tend to be threatened by it. Back
Mm-hmm.
then, recently there was what in Hong Kong, the prime minister was a woman, and everybody for the riots back then they had a riot China and riot for Hong Kong, right?
Yeah.
People said that it was because the country was governed by a female. That's why there was riots and everything. So they decided they wanted to kick her out and let a man take over the role, which is ridiculous that people think of women so low like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fact that people don't see women as intelligent people is crazy to me, and everybody thinks that these women are meant to stay at home and not further on our career progression. Politicians is not giving the women the title, right? Like
Yeah.
in New Zealand, they are like almost COVID free, and in places like America being governed by a man, it's obviously it's just evidence of just how women are powerful, but nobody wants to regard it as right.
They want to
Yeah.
keep on continuing the culture that men is
Mhm.
stronger than women, but in reality, they're just both men and women are equal.
Equal.
Yeah, it's equal. People don't see it that
Yeah.
way. Yeah, women have their weaknesses, but they also have their strengths, same as for men. It's just no, the fact that we still don't have the clear distinct that men and women are different, and people don't want to see it, it's crazy for me. Like that's society for us.
Hmm.
What do you think is the most prominent issue that cr- that prevents our society from achieving gender equality?
Honestly, for me, I feel that people are being conservative. The So many people are unwilling to let go of their past values of what they've been brought up with or what
Yeah.
they've known. So people are still stuck in that traditional mindset. They believe that what they were taught back then was the right thing, but they forget that as the years goes by or as the generation grows, people are changing, everything is changing, but they don't want to accept it. Like, that's why people use the term boomers. Yeah, I always use that on my parents because these kind of people don't have the willingness to let go of the past values or accept the fact that things are changing. They lack adaptability. That's for me. That's why I think that's one of the big issues that prevents us from achieving gender equality.
Yeah.
In your opinion, how do you think gender inequalities can be reduced?
Really, you have to educate yourself. You really have to take the time to know about it and see things in a bigger perspective. Everybody is very close mindset nowadays. They don't want to look that people are equal. They believe in, and when they say that they don't look at things are equal, they say it because they're looking at equity. But if you're looking at things that are equity, it means that one is having more than the rest. So what makes a man different than a woman? What makes a woman different than a man? I feel that you really have to take some time to read up about it and really educate yourself. Because once you educate yourself, you can educate other people. So it won't. So this cycle will stop of this whole discrimination thing of everyone just repeating it and making it a norm. Once you educate yourself, you get out of this cycle and you have a change mindset. Yeah.
Hmm.
Have you ever experienced gender discrimination?
Okay. As okay, there I've heard remarks that are like that are that I really that were subtle remarks. They were saying like, "Oh, you're a woman, you're a girl. You're supposed to learn how to cook. You're supposed to know do your groceries. You're supposed to stay at home. Obviously, you're supposed to know these kind of things." When my guy friends were to ask me about, hey, what vegetable is this? And I was like, oh, I don't know. Then they're like, but you're a girl. You're supposed to know. There was different remarks. But then there was this one time, because I'm a Muslim and my religion belief is that I wear a hijab stuff. So back then there's this friend of mine that said, why are you wearing your hijab when I went out with him the other day? He's like, you look very different from when I was in school because in secondary school I wore normal clothes and I wasn't covering myself. So they were saying, why you wear that hijab to cover yourself? You need to show your hair. You look unattractive. Now I was shocked. I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, yeah, because you're a woman. You're a woman and you're supposed to fill up men's desire. Then I was like, what do you mean is men's desire? Then he was saying that men's desire was women. And from I was like, what do you mean? So what is women's desire? He said women's desire is many things. Can be shopping, can be eating, can be makeup, that kind of thing. But for men, it's only women. So he said women are live to please men. Now I was like, Okay. Of course, I was shocked. He didn't respect me as a person. So, I stopped being his friend. I was really like, wow, he really made such comments about it. So I started asking him like, oh, so what do you mean? He said, oh, because hair is a beauty of women, and some girls that are bald or short hair are seen to be more, what is it called? Tomboy, like boy like. So
Oh,
they don't look appealing. They don't look appealing to men. So they will say like, oh, you don't look appealing to men. How is girls guys supposed to get excited looking at you? Then I was like, okay.
I don't think
I was like,
it's an obligation to like
yeah,
to
yeah,
Please, men.
please
Like,
men.
why do we have to?
It's not our obligation as women to please however men want us to look like.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
the thing. But they believe that sometimes girls wear makeup or dress nicely for the sake of getting boys' attention. Which is
Huh?
yeah,
We
yeah.
just want
Yeah,
to look good for ourselves, you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
It still happens until now.
In what ways do you think you can promote gender equality, and how do you think gender equality can change our society?
There are many different ways to promote gender equality. Like I said, one thing to get out of the gender inequality cycle is to really educate yourself. Right now, everything is in the web, is in the internet, so it's easy for us to just simply research or read up about such sensitive issues. And we really have to not be ignorant. Um, the fact that if once we educate ourselves, we will get to educate the future generation, and this will help promote equality more. We can also sign up for some classes or workshops. There are actually people who still fight for the rights of gender equality. The other day, I had a student council event, and it was a Zoom meeting about how men and women are equal. And it really taught me a lot of things. Like, that's why I decided to enter this call. It really taught me that men and women, there's no difference just because uh, we have different appearance or we have different strengths or weaknesses. If we all come together, I feel like um, society will be more unity. There will be no
Yeah.
division. There will be no yeah. There will be no division. There will be no segregation. Everybody will just be treated fairly because we're all like humans, right? Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So this will really help the future generation for us. Like we are the Gen Zs now, we are the millennials. We really play a big part for our future. If we still are stuck in the old past generation mindset, it's not gonna go any progress. Not gonna be any progression for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Last question. How do you how do you think gender inequalities relate to poverty?
The reason why I feel that gender equality relates to poverty is because if you look at rural areas like Africa, how many people of them are at home? All the women, what are they known to be? They're known to be housewives and they are known as the birth givers. So all they have to do is produce babies. And sometimes the men in Africa or in those rural areas, they don't earn that much money, so they cannot support their family. So the fact that women are illiterate, they are not being taught they're not being taught. People don't want to accept the fact that women should be placed in the workplace. It really does not help them get out of the poverty cycle. I'm sure if a woman works also as much as with her husband, she the family will be stable. Even though it's not they don't earn as much or what, but I feel that families with their mom and dad working together, they will earn a comfortable life. My mom and dad are working because my mom believes I'm happy I got brought up with a mom and dad that believes that everyone in the family has an equal right. So whether you're a man or woman, or that they don't believe in any king or queen. They believe that we all should follow my mom and dad also. So everyone is equal. My mom worked hard for herself. My dad worked hard for himself also. So I feel that once the genders are equal, people will tend to earn money. They will bring good for the economy, and that will help with poverty. That's why women who are staying at home tend to be, living that poverty cycle.
I agree because only currently only men half of the population, while women also half of the population, and only a small percent of them are given a chance to become educated and literate and work hard for their families. But I guess
Mm.
if we take that other percentage of women that are not being able to given the opportunity, we could
Mm.
actually give them the opportunity and the economy could, rise and society will be
Yeah,
much better.
yeah, I agree. I agree.
Thank you for coming today to today's TED Talk.
No worries.
Thank you. You were great. That was great.
That
I
was
really liked it. Yeah,
yeah.
Are you
it
guys
was
okay?
fun.
Today we have a special guest who will be joining us to answer a few of our questions regarding gender equality. Okay, first question is
How do you think gender discrimination affects livelihood of both men and women?
Well, gender discrimination, it kind of like favors men. So, men typically occupy the positions of power in society, which doesn't give like much, doesn't give any chance, like much chance to women to occupy um, these powerful positions in society because of socially accepted gender roles or preference to men. Women tend to be downgraded as less important or less significant than men. In
I
Indonesia, it kind of like it's a big thing here in Indonesia because um, they don't have a law that recognize marriage rape. I don't know, rape in marriages. So they pretend it doesn't exist, and for the women in the marriages and stuff, they just get stuck,
yeah.
because the power the men hold here is much more significant than what a women will hold here.
Next question. What do you think is the most prominent issue that prevents our society from achieving gender equality?
To be honest, I think that everyone has unconscious biases. So whatever like people might say, like we want gender equality and stuff like that, uh we have these unconscious bias that like kind of like says like um something towards our character, like how most of us think like these jobs are suitable for men and some jobs are more suitable for women. It's like those biases like kind of affects the way we think and stuff, and no matter how much we argue for gender equality, we can't like push away those biases. Another problem is basically also the leaders of some leaders of the I don't know what you call that. Yeah, basically the leaders, they most of them actually, if not all of them here in Indonesia, um describes like will prefer if men lead rather than women, if that makes sense. So yeah.
How do you think gender inequalities can be reduced?
um Maybe people should like, it can be reduced by like um promoting women empowerment, like help women gain power in like social work settings and everything, give women the same opportunity as men, and not downgrade the power that the control and power that women might have. And for businesses to hire an equal amount of men and women, and not just by giving these women like lower positions just because they're women, and men higher positions just because they're men.
Yeah.
Another issue is probably the pay. Like I'm sure a lot of people have heard this, but the pay for women is much lesser than what people pay men. So maybe like equal pay.
Yeah. I agree. There's like some issues like in the entertainment industry where like actresses get paid less than actors and some of them are fighting for it right now to get like equal pay. Have you ever experienced gender discrimination?
Actually, yes. I live in Indonesia, so it's kind of inevitable here. people say like because you're a girl you can't do anything, you can't be like you can't be more significant than whatever you are right now. So usually like in schools even they said like girls can't do those kinds of stuff while boys can. And like um how people say like girls behave and mature more than boys, for me it's like to girls were punished for the things that boys do as well if they do it at an early age. So that's why girls mature faster than guys, because guys are not punished for the same things. So in my family also, I know they just want the best for me, but the thing is like uh why does like my cousin who's a guy get to do the things I can't? Like, yeah.
It's very common in Asian families, honest. Like sometimes in my
Mhm.
family it happens too, where like my brother gets more
Opportunities.
yeah.
Even if I get opportunities, like you shouldn't my parents, because I got an offer by an entertainment agency, like to be a K-pop trainee, right? This like yeah, a lot of you guys may have known this agency. It's
Oh, I know that.
Are
yeah.
you legit? Wait, that's such a like big company. Oh my god.
So
Yeah.
cool.
But then like because like you know how K-pop idols like wear like those like kind of
Mini
revealing,
skirts.
yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people said like don't take it because like people will judge you, and that's a thing here. Like girls can't wear whatever they want to wear without being like catcalled, because I don't know, it's so weird. It's like instead of teaching boys how to keep it in their pants, they teach girls
Yeah.
they teach girls not to wear things they want to wear, which is ridiculous.
Especially in like school dress codes. Honestly,
Mhm.
let's talk about like the dress code for girls are much harsher than the boys. Why can't we just teach like boys not to be that, you know?
Yeah. Um actually like my friend got dress coded a lot in school in Singapore, and her skirt wasn't even really short. Like it wasn't short. It was still above the knee, but it was in no way a mini skirt, you know. It's like ridiculous. Like
Yeah.
I mean, you're not horny, the boys are. Why are you teaching us?
But yeah, like I agree. There's like some many times in where people in our school actually get dress coded for like even the skirt is a bit short. Like it's not really that short, but they say it's short, and it's I don't know why teacher the yeah the dress code is really like lowering our confidence in some ways.
Yeah, and then especially here in like Indonesia, in my previous school, we get judged a lot. So like, uh, a lot of us are scared of what people might think of us. So like, for example, you don't wear makeup, you're not pretty. You wear too much makeup, or like you wear a little bit of makeup. Oh, she's asking for attention. She's gonna attract the wrong things. You wear something that's like a baggy and like loose. She's not trying hard enough, and you wear something like tight and shows your figure. Oh, she's asking for it. Like what?
Like it's like the stereotype they put on women, but at the same time they're contradicting it, and then makes us women like feel less confident than who we are.
Yeah, it's kind
Yeah.
of like downgrading our value. They see us as like items. Like, oh, she's pretty. I want to date her. And then you show her off, and then you break up with her. Like she's an item, you know.
Yeah. Next question. What ways do you think you can promote gender equality?
Maybe like as I said before, like um powerful positions in like companies should be taken up for women, and women should be given more opportunity to like show who they are, not just downgraded by their gender. Because let's face it, some women are smarter than some men,
Men.
and they deserve the position more, but they don't get it because of
Their gender.
They see the
Yeah.
gender, not ability.
Maybe like maybe we can like make a platform for action for gender equality, and the government should take more precautions on like eliminating gender equality. Do you know that a bill was actually passed in Indonesia, the bill for the omnibus law?
Sorry.
Can you expound? I'm sorry, I didn't really.
No. It has nothing to do with gender equality, but it was a bill that basically says that workers have a contract to work for life, and they can be paid lesser than their like minimum wage and stuff like that, which is ridiculous because they passed this bill because they said that they want to increase the economy and during times of corona. But then they passed this bill in such a way, like in such a fast paced manner, and they have been arguing for like women empowerment and child rights for like years, and they haven't managed to pass a bill, like one bill on that, which is ridiculous. Like it just shows how much we are downgraded, like, you know.
Yeah, I agree. That's like yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. Final question. How do you think gender inequalities relate to poverty?
Well, since I said since I said that women are downgraded in workplace and their pay is reduced, a lot of like a single mothers like that work to support their family might not be able to give their children the opportunities or the living conditions that a family that has a man might,
Yeah,
might
it's
have.
like they only rely on the man instead of giving an opportunity to have like a better life by having both men and women or husband and wife to support the family in a way, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like women are like downgraded. Like they think that we can't do the same thing that men does. Who brought you in this world? Without us, you'll be extinct. Like
Exactly.
Exactly.
it's okay. We have technology that says that we can give birth alone now. We don't need men anymore.
Anything else you want to say about the issue in hand?
Not really, but I guess we can't really fight gender inequality fully because all of us have like our biases, and like they're unconscious. So like no matter what we say or do, no matter how much we fight for gender equality, it kind of like contradicts with our biases, like what we're taught, especially in Asian families, right? Girls are taught to like not do this, not do that, and that already
Yeah.
like affects our biases. Like when we see a girl do things that we were taught not to do, we would like unconsciously judge them, like what is she doing, stuff
Exactly.
like that.
It
So
has,
we can't fully fight it unless we change our biases, which is hard.
hopefully over
I
time.
think the main thing is like how we were brought up.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
our families, how they teach us to think of people or something.
It has like something to do with past traditions or the roles they put on women. But like it has to change. Hopefully in the next incoming generations they will change
Yeah.
for the better.
It's like my family, even like my mom, I know she wants the best for me because like my parents, they kind of like, we're pretty lucky, like we're very well, like we're very comfortable, but my parents have no like, they don't have a son, they only have daughters, right?
Yeah.
So they teach us like, if you want the same lifestyle that you have right now, you need to find a man that's rich enough to give you the lifestyle that you want, like if you want to live well, instead of like
I also
encouraging.
heard that from like my parents.
Yeah,
Same.
and instead of like encouraging us to like work harder, they encourage us to find a rich man. That says a lot about society.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, right, they don't like expect us to work, like they don't expect anything. They just want us to get a man that's rich and powerful.
It's like when the parents would tell us like, oh, instead of fighting, like gain your own independence. They're like telling us,
They're telling us to rely on men.
yeah,
Yeah, which is kind of sad
yeah,
because like, yeah.
But I guess like that's the tradition. So they were also brought up like that. So they're just passing down.
Yeah, and then I had some like people tell me like, why do you want to study? Because I want to be a lawyer, right? So like, yeah, the reason why I didn't accept the K-pop thingy wasn't because I listened to like people. It was because I want to move to Singapore and like pursue law someday. So instead of like encouraging me to like study law, I have like some mutual friends. Like I don't call them friends because they're really bad influences, but yeah, I don't even know why I talk to them. Like they just maybe because they talked to me first, but they just say like, Angelique, why do you even have to work so hard? Uh, like with your looks, and in this way, I'm not saying I'm pretty or anything because I'm not. I don't know what's wrong with their eyes, but they said like with your looks, you can grab any men you want. Like, why
Oh,
don't you just not like work hard? You can get into a rich family like easy like that. And then I was like, yeah, because I want to like work, like I don't want to like depend on somebody for like, yeah. What if like my future husband, and I hope this doesn't happen, but what if he treats me bad and he doesn't like he only treats me good like on when we are with people, like what am I supposed to do if I'm not independent? Like
yeah, exactly. Yeah, for me. If I were in your position, I'd be like very, very insulted because I want to be self-reliant, like independent in a way.
and people judge me before they even meet me, like they see my pictures and they're like, oh, she's pretty, she's like this stuck up rich pretty girl that is so dumb, like that cannot speak up for herself and just cares about like parties and stuff, like which says a lot of what our society is. Like they judge purely on like looks and
Looks.
gender.
Yeah, I
Really
agree.
bad.
So that's the end of the interview. Thank you for giving your insights on the topic in hand. And your insights are
Thank you.
really good.
Yeah. Thank you so much.